Good afternoon. Match 16 of the 1975 Cricket World Cup in England on Brian Lara Cricket has been played. Holland versus Rhodesia. Rhodesia were red-hot favourites. Holland have not been in form in this tournament, especially with a bat. But you have just I've just witnessed an absolute sensational game. This is up there with the West Indies-Pakistan match for the game of the tournament. West Indies-Pakistan match, I think, is the best game of the competition thus far. But this, associate members are really giving us entertainment when they're playing each other. Holland versus Zimbabwe at Lords. Zimbabwe won the toss, selected the field on a green pitch, which was quite slow, with a bit of a slowish outfield. They played with 4 fast bowlers as well. Well, I think they played with 5 fast bowlers, thinking that the pitch was going to stay green and wasn't going to turn. And they fielded and bowled pretty solidly. Holland only made 203 for 6, their highest score in one-day internationals. But obviously, the highest one-day internationals, but yet... And they batted before 50 overs this time. 30, 31, 1, 16, 25, 16, 14 and 61 not out. But look at that. 25 not out. Came off 102 deliveries. He was playing. The number 5 batsman was literally playing to get a not out and improve his average. So a bit of a selfish innings, to be honest with you. But towards the end, 61 not out from wicketkeeper off just 50 deliveries. Really launched themselves from 140 for 6 to 203 for 6. Very good last few overs for the Dutch. They scored 51 runs in the final 10 overs. The bowling figures, 5 fast bowlers, as you can see. 50 for 2, 38 for 1, 35 for 0, 38 for 1 and 38 for 0. Those 2 run-outs towards the end of the innings, as you can see there, sort of slowed the run rate down. So Holland would have been disappointed to not get 220. But look at the response. Remember, this was a green pitch that we thought would suit the fast bowlers. But you'll see in a moment, they were in control at 106 for 2 from about 27.4 overs. Then they lost 5 wickets. 5 wickets for 20 runs in 21 deliveries. So they went from 106 for 2 to 126 for 6, and the game just completely changed from there. Holland's fielding was absolutely sensational against Rhodesia today. 60, 7, 28, and then look at that middle order, 7, 6, 0 and 8. And despite some hitting from a low order, 26, 29, 15 and 6 not out. They came so close towards the end, but they were all out for just 198 in the end, in 49 overs exactly. They had an over left. Look at the bowling figures. The spinners took 9 of the 10 wickets. 21 for 1 for the fast bowler. 19 for 0, 6 for 0. 34 for 1 for the off spinner. 45 for 1 for slow left armour. And the 2 off spinners, who are sort of part-timers / all-rounders. 53 for 3 and 16 for 4. That 16 for 4 is the best figures by a bowler in World Cup history so far. Still early on. No one's taken a 5-wicket haul yet in this tournament, but 16 for 4, the best figures by a Dutch bowler in one-day international, and the best figures in the competition's history so far. So the match summary: Zimbabwe won the toss, elected to bowl on a green pitch. Weather was 20 degrees, so we felt that it was okay for that, and it was a bit of a gamble. Holland struggled. They only made 203 for 6 from their 50 overs. But then a wonderful bowling performance from the spinners saw Rhodesia, all out for 198. Holland winning by 5 runs. It is the lowest ever total defended in World Cup history so far. And it is also the narrowest victory in terms of runs in World Cup history. In what was one of the games of the tournament. The second best game of the tournament, notwithstanding the Pakistan-West Indies game a few days ago. Man of the match was the number 2 batsman, 31 runs. And let's have a look at those figures again. 4 for 16. So man of the match for his all-round performance, 31 runs at the top of the order and 4 for 16 with the ball. This is what it means for Rhodesia. The remaining 2 games are against... Very quickly, I'm trying to think who they've got. India and Australia. Holland are off the bottom of the table. Rhodesia look like they're going to finish bottom without a single point to their name, and it looks like that they are going to finish without a win. Australia next, and then they've got India in their final match. I think that could be a very, very long 2 matches. The way they've lost that match after having fielded pretty well. Bowlers only took 4 of the 6 wickets, by the way, with fast bowlers, so you just wonder, really, they will live to regret having not played any spinners at all. Tomorrow's match, though, United Arab Emirates versus West Indies. West Indies win tomorrow will take them... Sorry, I've not looked at Route 1 yet. As you can see, West Indies win tomorrow against the United Arab Emirates will take them through to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. They'll be the first team to qualify for the quarterfinals of the 1975 World Cup if they beat UAE tomorrow. UAE opening, of course, the biggest upset ever in cricket in history. You never know, they've recovered pretty well from their hammering against Pakistan in the opening match, but we'll talk about that in a moment. I'm going to give you my review of just saving all the statistics, although you ain't going to see any statistics from these 2 sides because obviously they're associate members. Just let me just sort a few things out. Well, yeah, by preview of that match, that was the second best game of the competition. Holland, you've got to say that Holland's bowling, it's been pretty impressive. I mean, they only got bowled out for 116 against India on an awful pitch at Nottingham, and yet they made India's batsmen look second rate, and they took 4 wickets. So they took 4 wickets against Sri Lanka. But that fielding and their bowling performance, they were cruising, and yet the off spinner 16 for 4 and 31 batting at the top of the order. One of the best all-round performances of the tournament thus far. Utterly sensational. What a day for Dutch cricket. And Rhodesia have got some thinking to do. Australia next. Dennis Lilly, no doubt, will be rubbing his hands, and I think Gary Gilmore, who I'm almost certain will play in that match for his first appearance, they'll be licking their lips and hoping that they can roll Rhodesia over pretty comfortably. How Rhodesia are going to recover from a match like that will be difficult. Tomorrow's match, United Arab Emirates versus the West Indies. West Indies looking to book their place in the quarterfinals. They'll be the first team to book their place in the quarters if they win tomorrow. The United Emirates, though, have recovered brilliantly from being rolled out for 74 in the opening game against Pakistan, thrashed South Africa by 7 wickets, and gave Kenya a real fight, scoring 274 in response to Kenya's 296. So their batting's hit a bit of form recently, but what a game. Holland versus Rhodesia, one of the games of the tournament. This is why, as I said earlier, when Kenya played for the United Arab Emirates, this is why the associate members are in this World Cup. They are producing fantastic moments. And yes, there's not been a single shock yet, and you may not see another shock. That is as close to a surprise. It's not a shock, but it's a surprise nonetheless. What a performance from the Dutch. Great moment for Dutch cricket. Talk to you tomorrow for the match report between the United Arab Emirates against the West Indies. Until then, from me, Lawrence Howard, it's a very good afternoon to you all, and bye-bye.